Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and we are on day 3 of our Christmas themed, magic deck techs that I did here. And today is Christmas Eve. I am out east celebrating with my in-laws, with my daughter and my wife, having a wonderful time. I hope everybody, wherever you are, whether you celebrate Christmas, don't celebrate Christmas, wherever you may be, I hope that you are having peace, serenity, and just having a good time. I wish you the best in life. But for today's theme, for our Christmas theme, we have gift giving. And today we have one of my favorite commanders. And no, I'm not doing stacks with him this time. We have Kwain the Meddler. He's going to be our gift giver today. And this deck, I'm going to tell you outright, is a little less on the side of it's going to win as much as it is more bracket 1, give everybody gifts. So, without further ado, Kwain, Itinerant Meddler, is a 1/3 for Azorius, and he has tap. Each player may draw a card. Then each player who drew a card this way gains life. Everybody wins, right? And that's going to be the theme here. We're going to all help each other draw. We're going to give people gifts that they might not want. It's going to be a fun time. So, then we have Jace Beleren, the original. The original Jace. We have 3 loyalty, +2. Each player draws a card. -1, target player draws a card. So if somebody's been extra good, you can make them draw a card. Or if you yourself have been doing a great job at giving gifts, make sure to treat yourself to 1, 2. And then -10, target player mills 20. You're not going to probably mill somebody for 20 with this deck. Then we have our creatures. We have Braids, Conjurer Adept. She's originally from Planar Chaos. She is time shifted. And at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player may put an artifact, creature, or land card from their hand onto the battlefield. See? Everybody gets to have free things. I'm giving you all the gift of free stuff. Then we have Drum Bellower, flying, and untap all creatures you control during each other player's untap step. Goes with Kwain, so that way we can give more gifts. We have Flumph, and whenever Flumph is dealt damage, you and target opponent each draw a card. Gifts. Fogbank. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to this creature, right? Dealt to and by this creature. The gift of no damage. Then we have Kami of the Crescent Cheeks, Moon. He's a 1/3 for 2 blue. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. He's a Howling Mine effect. Everybody gets more cards. Then we have Marvin, Murderous Mimic, who combos with a ham sandwich, but here he's going to be able to be like your some of your other cards like Kwain, right? He's going to have the activated ability, so he's going to help out Kwain. He's Kwain's little toy helper to help everyone draw cards. Then we have Order of the White Clay. He has tap 3 and untap, which originally was an ability from Lorwyn. Please, Lorwyn, bring this back. Actually, I think it was for like Shadowmoor Eventide or Morningtide, whatever it was, but please, Lorwyn, bring this back. You pay 3, you untap it, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. We have Palinchron. Palinchron makes infinite mana. That's why he's in this deck. Palinchron does Palinchron things. He's one of the original infinite mana combos. I still remember my friend Jason with his Horde of Notions deck using this and things like Mirari's Wake and High Tide to go infinite pretty much all the time. And then just like Brain Geyser, Stroke of Genius us out. Then we have Scholarship Sponsor. When he enters the battlefield, each player who controls fewer lands than the player who controls the most. So that's what green gets for being greedy and not sharing their gifts. Everybody else is going to get this. They get to search for a number of basic land cards less than or equal to the difference and put those cards onto the battlefield tap. It's super catch-up ramp for everybody. Then we have Stiltskin, Moogle Merchant. Look at how happy he is. He has lifelink, and you can tap 2 and tap him. Target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. You're going to give people things. Then we have Tataru. Taru, when it enters, you draw a card and target opponent may draw a card. And whenever an opponent draws a card, if it's not that player's turn, create a tapped treasure creature. Why do I always want to say tapped creature token? A tapped treasure token. This ability triggers only once each turn. See, Tataru is giving gifts. Then we have the Council of Four, which is whenever a player plays their second card each turn, you draw a card, and whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, you create a 2/2 white knight. You can give away your knights too with your Stiltskin Moogle. We also have our lap band in here, so if we do manage to run out of cards via some of the ways we have in this deck, you will win the game. Then we have Yes Man. Target opponent gains control of Yes Man, and when they do, you draw 2 cards and put a quest counter on him. Activate only during your turn, and then when Yes Man leaves the battlefield, its owner creates a tapped 1/1 white creature token for the quest counters on it. So not only does it give your opponents the gift of cards and you the gift of cards, but then it eventually gives you the gift of probably a lot of 1/1 tokens that you're going to use to beat people to death. For our sorceries, we have Approach of the Second Sun, which is giving your opponents the gift of the most singular, boring win con imaginable, and yes, I say that knowing full well that it is a win con in 2 of my decks. We have Cut a Deal, so each opponent draws a card, then you draw a card for each opponent who drew a card this way. Then we have Donate. Target player gains control of target permanent you control. See, giving away your things. Like I said, you don't see anything that's really a downside to give them, and that's fine, because this deck is about the gift and care. Then we have Mind's Glow. Starting with you, each player may pay any amount of mana. Each player draws X cards, where X is the total number of mana paid this way, giving your opponents the gift of drawing their entire deck while you have Lab Man in play. Then we have Modify Memory. Exchange control of 2 target creatures controlled by different players. If you control neither creature, draw 3 cards. And you know, this is also a great way to give your opponents the gift of being really annoyed at you. Then we have Prosperity, which is each player draws X cards, once again giving them the gift of watching you win when Labman's on the field. We have Secret Rendezvous, so you and target opponent each draw 3 cards. Show and Tell, so we all get free things. We have Tempt with Bunnies, we can see us all get all sorts of rabbits. We have Blue Sun Zenith, which will give somebody the gift of being milled out of the game when they're tired of dealing with all the gifts. You know, people feel guilty about getting gifts, and so you can make them feel less guilty by getting them out of the game. Energy Arc, untap any number of target creatures. Those creatures neither deal nor receive combat damage this turn. The gift of saving everything. We have Generous Gift, the gift of a 3/3 green elephant. Sure, that probably meant that their big bomb is dead, but you know what? That 3/3 elephant, that's their treat. We got a High Tide in here to help us with the Pylon infinite mana. We have Holy Day. Again, the gift of no one gets to do damage. Long River's Pull, gift a card, and counter target spell. If the gift was promised, instead counter target spell. Target creature, and then full spell if it was gifted. Oblation. The owner of target non-land permanent shuffles it into their library, then draws 2 cards. The gift of you not having to deal with something annoying and them getting to draw 2 cards, it's a win for everybody. Path to Exile, you're gifting your opponent a land. Purge Protection, gift an extra turn, create 4 blue birds. If the gift was promised, all permanents you control phase out, and until your next turn, your life total can't be changed and you gain protection from everything. We have Pongify in here, we have Redirect, we have Settle the Wreckage to give somebody all of the lands. Stroke of Genius, like I said, you're going to mill somebody out. Stroke of Midnight, Swords to Plowshares, the gift of getting a lot of life. Vision Schemes, everybody draws cards, and War Report. You gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield, not just on your side. Yep. And so, that's how we do it. Then we have our artifacts in here, right? We've got ourselves a crawl space. The gift of making sure that those opponents who have 1,000,000 creatures don't have to think so hard about which of the 1,000,000 creatures to send. Ebony Owl Netsuke. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 7 or more cards in hand, Ebony Owl Netsuke deals 4 damage to him or her. The gift of all of those cards does come with a drawback. Sometimes you trip and fall when you're carrying that much stuff, so you're going to take 4 damage. Font of Mythos. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws 2 additional cards. Gate of Ether. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player reveals the top card of his or her library. If it's an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card, that player may put it into play. We have Helm of Awakening, so everything costs cheaper. Horn of Greed. We can probably make this the cheaper version. Whenever a player plays a land, they draw a card. Howling Mind, we all know what this does. Panoptic Mirror, right? So you can put some of your sorceries on here, some of your your lovely sorceries, and you can do all sorts of fun things with them, like modify memory. If you want to be a jerk and win, you can play Approach the Second Sun, Cut a Deal, Prosperity. All of these things are just, fun on Panoptic Mirror. You can also do it with your instants, right? So you can do things like High Tide being replicated, Holy Day, although Holy Day is not as good on your turn. War Report is a good one to put on there. We have Sensei's Divining Top. We have Sensei's Divining Top is the gift of taking all of your opponent's time as they watch you look with top again, look with top again, look with top again, and you've only seen the same 3 cards, but you know what you're going to do? You're going to look at top again. Then Soul Ring, the gift of your opponents being jealous of you getting it on turn 1. And Temple Bell lets everybody draw a card. For enchantments, we're going to give our opponents the gift of Pillow Forts. So we have ourselves a Ghostly Prison, a Sphere of Safety, and a Propaganda to keep them from beating us to death, because they're going to be so guilty of all of our from all of our generosity that they're going to want to kill us on sight. We have Extravagant Replication to gift ourselves some copies of these wonderful things. Forced Fruition, so we're gifting people lots and lots of cards. Mirror Maid is in here. Prof's Eidetic Memory. Well of Ideas. When it enters battlefield, you draw 2 cards, and at the beginning of each other player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. At the beginning of your draw step, draw 2 additional cards. We have Words of Worship, which is pay 1 the next time you would draw a card this turn, and you gain 5 life instead. And then Teferi's Tutelage to mill. And for our lands, we have ourselves an Adagia. I love Adagia, so we have to run it. We have a Gancho Castle. We have Gyro Reach Sanitarium. We have ourselves a Mystifying Maze, a Labyrinth of Scophos, a Maze of Ith, and a Port Town, and a Reliquary Tower, because we are going to be drawing lots of cards. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward and simple. Let me know if you think that this is something that you can give the gift of just annoying the hell out of your opponents. But as always, I am Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and today's Christmas message, let's go with, in this time of giving, we all know that economic circumstances aren't so great for a lot of people out there, right? Times are tight. My wife and I are middle class. Times are tighter for us. I'm sure times are tighter for you. But I'm a firm believer in the from each according to ability, to each according to their needs. So my Christmas message on this day where we're doing a deck tech about giving gifts is, if there's a local food pantry or shelter, something like that, if you have the economic means to do so, even if it's a few bucks or a few things of canned food, reach out, give a donation. There's a lot of folks out there who don't get to eat, kids who don't get to have gifts, right? I'm sorry, I'm tearing up. I'm a big old softy. But that's the best way we can give during this time, especially during these uncertain times when everybody is, just having the time of their lives, let me tell you. But as always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you tomorrow on Christmas. Merry early Christmas.